welcome to the channel. You've joined me on a very rainy morning. As you can see, my hands are like covered in mud and leaf goop and yeah, I had to unplug the car and get rolling. I'm running late. I have a dentist appointment, and I'm also heading out of town for a job, going to Palm Desert today. So I thought, as I've done in the past, I'll take you along for the ride, kind of show you some real world of what it's like owning an electric car, road tripping a Tesla, etc., etc. You know, pros and cons, all of that good stuff. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, if you've watched the channel before, I'm not one of these like hyper miling, I'm going to see how much efficiency I can squeeze out of the car kind of drivers. I need to get there. I bought this car so that it could get me there quick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, unless I forgot to plug in or whatever, I'm going to use the battery. You know, we're getting in there, and we're going to use the power. We're going to use the speed. That's just, you know, why have 400 plus horsepower if you're not going to use it? So that's just kind of my take on it. I mean, I don't drive it like I stole it, but at the same time, I'm not Mr. Magoo in the fast lane like I see so many Tesla drivers. If it's your first time here, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Help me grow the channel, get me beyond 1,000 subscribers. We're getting so close, man. Please, it would be so awesome. Dream come true. As we kind of start our journey here, I'll just give you some of the technicals. I'm going to try and keep this video short. I say that every time. It's probably not going to happen, but we're going to try. So we're starting out north of Glendale, and we're actually like shooting down into Glendale. So I'm kind of like, if you're familiar with Southern California, I'm kind of like up the 2 freeway from Glendale. So like the 134 freeway kind of goes right past Glendale. Then you got the 2 that goes up to the 210. And so that's where I'm starting out, basically. La Crescenta area, if you're familiar. So heading down to Glendale, it's only 10 miles, I guess, and most of it's downhill. But I'm running like 5 minutes late to the dentist. I hope I don't get punished. I just hate this, you know, when you get all of that leafy goop. I just needed it to dry so I can kind of not have it stick to my steering wheel. So yeah, so we're not going to be like conserving our power getting to the dentist. We're going to go ahead and just get there quick. I hope I can make up a couple minutes. Because once I get there, I have to park in the garage, run upstairs, you know. And a lot of you watching the channel, I'm sure you know exactly where I'm headed. if you play a brass instrument. He's the guy. So, I'm behind the slow CRV. Come on, man. Let's move. There we go. They'll just take care of that. No problem. Gotta say, best feature of the car. Maybe, you know, one of the best features. So let's talk technicals. Oops. I'm on autopilot. There we go. Looks like the rain has stopped for now, so that's good. Roads are a little wet, but dual motor, all-wheel drive, we're good. 312 miles of predicted range right now. I meant to charge it to 100 at the 100%. So right now we're at 89%. I suppose we left at 90. You know, and I meant to reset the trip. Let me do that real quick. We've only been driving for like 5 minutes, so yeah, it's only been like a few miles. So we're gonna go ahead and reset trip B. Reset. All right. So now we begin our day in trip B. So that way we can have a close to accurate representation of what we're doing. So far, average energy efficiency, you know, that's still figuring itself out. But 311 on range, 89% on the battery. I can't remember what other technical specs you all nerds want to hear. I mean, I'm one of you, but I don't know as much as some of you. So I don't know. But we're going to drive it. We're going to get it there. So first stop, Glendale. Second stop, Palm Desert. And, you know, the place in Palm Desert that I'm heading to, if you've ever been to the McCallum Theater, really beautiful performing venue. Years ago, I took my wife to see Beauty and Roast Beast there. Beautiful, great show. And I've also played there many times with various different acts. It's a really nice venue. So if you're out in the Palm Desert, Palm Springs area, definitely recommend you check out the McCallum. They have a lot of really great traveling acts that come through. I always enjoy getting to play there just because it's fun. And it's been there enough times, it's starting to kind of feel, you know, it's like, oh yeah, back at the office. It's cool. I mean, I haven't been there that many times. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm just saying, it's a nice place to work. When I get the opportunity, it's great. What else? Oh yeah, I remember. Here's where the video gets long. Just kidding. Not kidding. So yesterday, I had just a little bit of downtime. I wouldn't even call it downtime. It was just, I didn't have work yesterday. And both my kids had like medical appointments. One dentist, one doctor. You know, so we were kind of, you know, shuttling the kids around and doing all that fun stuff. Wiping tears and, you know, all the joys. And it was great. It was a great day. But I noticed I was getting kind of high mileage on the tires in terms of tire rotation. I think I was at 5,800. I like to do it between 5,000 and 7,000 miles with this car. And so I called, I really like going, at least up where I live. American Tire Depot is convenient to where I live. And, you know, convenience for me is key. Like, it needs to be close to where home base is, and it also needs to be a place that I'm going to see while I'm out and about in case I have a problem. And American Tire Depot kind of ticks both of those boxes for me. You know, I see them, you know, everywhere. I see them everywhere, you know. I used to really be a fan of Just Tires. I had a really good one right near me. Oh God. Sorry. Yeah, that's how upset I am. They burned to the ground, you can believe it. And it was a really great place. I actually met another YouTuber who was working there. Shout out to Zach and Wyatt. And I think it was Zach that I met. He sold me a set of tires for my van. And he's just like the car guy's car guy. He's great. He knows his Corvettes. He knows his Mustangs. He knows, you know, the Miatas. Like, just throw anything at him. He's got it. So check out their channel. I think they have like 2,000 or 3,000 subs. Like, they were doing pretty well. I haven't seen anything from them in a while, but maybe I just haven't looked. So they're a lot of fun. So Just Tires was great, but they burned down. And then the next closest store is in La Cañada, and it sucks. It is the worst. I just, they seem to like never be busy, and at the same time they never have anybody to work on your car. Like, I don't get it. Be like, oh yeah, we got 3 cars ahead of you, and there are no cars in the bays, you know. Or it's like, hey, I bought the 3-year alignment, I want it checked. Oh yeah, we don't have an alignment check. Why not? Get one. Sorry, it just, I get so angry, and so every time I have to go there, it's just like, even if you make an appointment, they're like, oh yeah, no, we're busy, and you're not busy. So anyway, so with this car, I made sure to check out a different tire store for my rotations, you know. And of course, you can get your tires rotated anywhere. Most mechanics are going to charge between $30 to $50 to rotate your tires, which seems ridiculous. I mean, it's really not that hard. I'm a huge fan of America's Tire, also known as Discount Tire in other parts of the country. They do a really fantastic job. I think they rebalance your tires every time, and they click it down with the torque wrench to make sure that you're at, you know, the perfect torque spec for factory specs. But sadly, you know, the closest America's Tire is like down in like South Glendale. It's kind of hard for me to get to, and they're always mobbed. So it's, you know, it takes 2 hours out of my day or more just to deal with that. And, you know, that's not worth it. So American Tire Depot, good enough. I think they were just run it on with the gun, but they seem to do a pretty good job. So when I bought this car, a few weeks later, I went in there and I bought the road hazard warranty on my tires, which a lot of people don't know that you can do that when you buy a car. If your tires are fresh, you know, if they look new and if the date code is, you know, recent enough, you can find a tire store that carries your brand and you can buy the road hazard warranty from them, even though you didn't buy the tires there. And the price varies depending upon the store and the car and the tire size, all that good stuff. So for this car, it was kind of pricey. I mean, I do think that, like, you know, one of the advantages of owning a Tesla is very little maintenance. One of the disadvantages of owning a Tesla is you're going to pay the Tesla tax, you know, on parts and you know, when you do need them, tires and all of that stuff, you know, everything is a little more expensive, because it's more of a premium car, even though it's not really a premium car. It's a compact car that's, you know, nicely equipped, but not that nice, you know. Don't hate me, Tesla people. I'm one of you, but let's be honest, okay? But yeah, in any case, for this car, it was, I believe, $140 out the door for the road hazard warranty on these tires. But that gives me free rotations, free lifetime balancing, and of course the road hazard. So I noticed that my right rear was a little low. It was at like 38, and the rest of the tires are around 42. And it didn't seem to be dropping that steadily, but you know, it did give me cause for some concern. So I did mention it to American Tire Depot. They rotated my tires and they found a nail in the right rear. So they went ahead and patched that for me and got me all squared away, which was really great. And at this point, I've done enough rotations that, you know, I'm almost, I think between the rotations and the flat repair, I'm at the break-even point on that road hazard warranty. So every rotation that I get done after this, you know, is going to be essentially money in my pocket, money saved. I know Tesla can come and rotate my tires at my location, which is a wonderful service, but it's $65 each time. And even though I think it's a good deal, considering the mobile service, it's $65. I don't want to spend that much money. Spending enough on the car, you know, I want it to be, I want to save a little money here and there. Okay, well, made it to the dentist. I'm only 3 minutes late. Of course, I'll be 5-6 minutes late by the time I get in there. But all right, friends, we'll check in later. Here we are, little mission update. It's nasty out here, man. I don't like it. I suppose it could be raining harder, but this definitely slows me down a little bit. You can see, you know, not wanting to push it too hard. So I was going a little faster, and then the car started to feel a little squirrely. I mean, not unsafe, but you know, when you hit those big puddles, you know, it's better to be a little bit on the safe side. You know what I mean? Big bump coming up. Is this the one? No, this is the one. I hate this one. There we go. Yeah, it feels better. And then the down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, back to speed her up a little bit. There's a BMW behind me. He's super mad that I slowed down. You know, he's probably even considering using a turn signal. No, no, he wouldn't. I know better than that. But yeah, it looks like we're hitting a little bit of traffic here. The map is predicting, whatchamacallit, 2 hours of drive time from this point. So we'll see. I'll be curious how this kind of pans out. Obviously, I'm going to be carrying some lower speeds than usual on this drive, just out of precaution, safety, all of that. So currently 288 miles, 83% state of charge. And I think what I meant to say earlier, because I'm so scatterbrained this morning, as per usual, is I set my charge for like 90% before I went to bed. And my plan was I was going to make my coffee and then ramp it up to 100% so that I'd have, full long range today. But I forgot. I think I was like getting out of the shower and I was like, oh no, I forgot to up my charge. So I upped it at the last minute, but it didn't really get me much past 90 because my home charger isn't very fast. 15 miles per hour is all I get. So that was kind of a bummer, but it's fine. Even if I was at 100%, I'd still want to stop and supercharge on the way home. So it's not, it's not a big deal at all. Let's see, what else? Technicals, so far we've gone 21 miles, probably more like 22, 23, but whatever. 21 miles, showing almost 19,000 miles on the clock. Can't believe it. It's gone by quickly. We're almost halfway through the factory warranty. Please break now, car, please. Not now, but tomorrow, something like that. So anyway, nasty weather, autopilot doing a great job, staying in the lane, so far not hitting any cars, keeping us going straight. I do keep my hand on the wheel most of the time, so that way I don't get the warning. And it's funny, those of you that don't have a Tesla, like, just keeping your hand on the wheel isn't enough. You have to actually, like, apply some, like, turning force. So if you can see, like, you kind of want to just like kind of tug on the wheel constantly, which can be a little annoying if you've never done it before. But if you can see like the little meaty part of my hand, that's about how much force I try to keep on it. And even still with that, I get some warnings like take control immediately or apply slight turning force. It's really annoying. I wish it wouldn't do that. Like I wish it just knew my hand was here. But yeah, so that's just kind of a little annoyance that I have. But most of the time it works really great, and sometimes I'll put it right here and just kind of give it a little bit of that kind of weight. Normally I don't think about it this much. Now I'm like, oh, my hand's getting tired. Or I'll do this. Let me know what your style is if you have one of these bad boys. Well, I'm gonna drive a little bit and we'll check in as we get a little closer. I'm planning on I always like to stop at Starbucks down in Morongo. I usually have a fish cup of water. Today I just have the fish cup, no water, and I'm thirsty. Looking at all this rain, I'm thirsty. So I may make a stop before then, but I don't know. I'm gonna try and make it out there. It's just important to stay hydrated, especially when heading to the desert. So that's all I got for now. I'll check back soon. Well, my friends, check it out. It is snowing in Southern California. I don't know if you can see it. But man, it is really coming down. I'll try and zoom in a little more. just surreal. This never happens. And as you can see, we're in Beaumont. This is usually where I stop and charge on the way home. And that's probably what I'll do tonight. Because as you can see, there's a supercharger just off of Oak Valley Parkway. Really nice installation. 21 stalls available. And I think there are some amenities at the gas station there, but I'm usually there so late I don't use the amenities. But yeah, a lot of snowfall. It's really not accumulating, and it's 36 degrees outside Fahrenheit, so we're not, I don't think anything's going to stick to the road or the car for that matter. It just kind of melts right away. But yeah, this is different. Not what I expected. A winter wonderland, February 22nd. Is that what today is? I don't know. Something like that. So yeah, as you can see on the map, it's a little bit yucky traffic-wise. Thankfully today, I was late for the dentist, but I'm definitely way on time for my gig, and that's probably the best way to do it. I would much rather. I don't want to be late for anything, but it's great when you leave for a gig and you have more than enough time to get there, in case of slowdowns like this where we're going 23 miles an hour in the snow. So, yeah, unbelievable. I am shocked. It's really quite beautiful. And I think if I weren't heading to work, I would maybe even stop the car and step out in it for a second just to enjoy the snow. But yeah, I'm not that amused with it at the moment, as you can understand. But it looks like I have a 3 o'clock start, and I'm going to get there at 1:10. So I'm good. Let's talk tech. Let's talk trips. So 92 miles on our trip so far. 276 watt hours per mile average. We've used 25 kilowatt hours so far. 189 miles of 188 and 54% charge left. I suppose we could take a look at the energy graph. I haven't actually looked at this for a while. But as you can see, we started out at around 310 miles of range, and now we're down to, 188. And looks like the live projection, we're doing, I think, slightly better. That's good. So it looks like climate control's been sucking up some juice, and elevation and everything else. But driving, we've actually gained almost a mile, and I see going slower would have helped, but again, don't really care. We're gonna be fine. There's the consumption graph showing our average range. And again, these cars, unless you're being really careful, you're not going to get the predicted range. So just get that out of your head. This is not a 300-mile car the way I drive it. And that's okay. You just have to know the rules of the game. That's all. But it's got plenty of range, and there are plenty of superchargers, so it's cool. And really, I do have those moments where I think, maybe I should have just bought a standard range plus. That probably would have done the job just fine. Some of my friends have that car. I keep meaning to ask them, how the range is working out. Look at the snow. It's really coming down. That is kind of neat. Wow. Sorry, I know those of you like in other parts of the country or even the world in some cases, like this is probably no big deal, but Southern California, this just doesn't happen. We do not get snow here. This is not even supposed to happen. So it's pretty neat. Now, speaking of other things, something a food I've taken a lot of criticism for lately, and those of you that wear lots of buttons, you know what I'm talking about. Here it is. I know it looks like a bag of cat turds, but I didn't do very well on my cooking last night. I overdid it a little bit. So it does look like I just got it out of the litter box, but this would be a bag of Teff. And it's a delicious superfood. Well, delicious, is all subjective. I think if you mix it with the right things, it's quite delicious. I enjoy it. It makes me feel good, and I like eating it. And, it's a good conversation piece. So check out Teff, Teff. And if I remember, I'll put a link in the description for an Amazon affiliate link to the actual Teff that I eat. I think you get like 4 pounds for $20, something like that. I might be remembering incorrectly, but I did get it on Amazon, and highly recommend it. Especially if you're doing quinoa on the regular, maybe you want to switch stuff up. Teff is a nice alternative, and it's different. So check it out. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the drive here, and I'll check in. I should be at Morongo pretty soon, so I'll probably check in around there. Status report updates. You can see right there, we got some palm trees. We're here, Palm Desert. Yeah, baby. I just finished taking my thumbnail picture. Hopefully it's a smashing success. I'm experimenting with the YouTube face. Or hopefully it got you to click the video. We'll see. But yeah, I'm here at the McCallum. No issues. About I rolled up probably a couple minutes ago, around 1:22. So plenty of time. I got a 3 o'clock start. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. May warm up. I may try and edit some videos. I think I may try and crank out a couple videos. Maybe work until about 2 o'clock, and then go in and try and get set up and everything, and then maybe I'll do another video. I don't know. Or I may just watch some YouTube or some Paramount Plus or what have you. I don't know. Enjoying the new season of Picard. It's good. I am a Star Trek nerd. If you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully we can still be friends. Let's talk numbers, because I know that's what we're here for. We want to know how much and how long and all of that. So let me just park and I'll break down the figures for you. It's kind of a cool Chevy HHR. Is that right? Can you see that? I can't swivel that far. I hate this phone holder. I think I'm going to send it back. That thing. Little panel. It's like the Econo car with looks like a panel van. Sorry, it always takes 2 hands. Yeah. This thing sucks. I don't recommend it. So, numbers. 138 miles since we left home. Probably more like 140. We left with 310, something like that, I think. Now we've got 155, so we've used about half. We're currently at 44% state of charge, and we have used 32 kilowatt hours to get here. Not bad. Averaging 234 watt hours per mile. So not bad, not great, not bad. I guess that's about average, come to think of it. So yeah, it's been a comfy trip. I did make my Starbucks stop. Love it. It's right by the Morongo Travel Center. And yeah, it just, that stop really just makes this trip nice for me. Everyone has their as my dad likes to call it, obligatory stops. And for me, that's the one. I always get the 1-2 punch. Gotta hydrate. While we wait, we hydrate. So, it tastes awful. I don't know what they did to the water this time, but it tastes like the toilet. But I'm gonna drink it anyway. It's water, I hope. And then my venti pike. I like to keep it in the Yeti. Just keep it hot. It's just that's my little travel tip for you, and that's what I do. And then I'm rocking my lunch bag. Got my Teff, got my sugar snap peas, or whatever they're called, and celery, and apple, and some turkey and cheese. Nice little lunch. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill, get some work done, and probably check in either dinner time or when it's dark, and we're on the way back. So catch you soon. All right, it's dinner time, and I just did a little of this. It's always good. Those of you joining us from Texas, I'm sorry about Whataburger. I don't mean to start a whole war here, but that tastes better. That's my opinion. So I just ate a delicious dinner. I'm gonna head over. There's a supercharger in Rancho Mirage. It's not a very fast one. It's 72 kilowatt charger. I've got a little bit of downtime, and I mean, I do need to charge up a bit before I head home. We're at 42%. So I mean, even if I get just a wee bit more into the pack, I think it would be worth it. So the heat pump's doing its thing. I don't know if you can hear that. It's fantastic. So I figure, even though it's a slow charger, it's not a supercharger, but it'll do. Look at that 735. Isn't that cool? Man, I'm not sure I've even seen a 7 Series of that generation. I don't even know what that is. An E whatever. It's super awesome. And I would just love to smell the inside of that car. It'd have that like cool old BMW smell. Those of you that have BMWs or have had BMWs, you know what I'm talking about. Nothing like it. So apparently we're 3 minutes away from this Rancho Mirage charger. And let's see what's what. My concert is at 8. It's 6:33. So I figure plug in and let it charge until 7. And then I'll head back to the venue and get in my tux, and we'll see what that gets us. It's a good little experiment. And we're not far from the venue, which is also really great. Now I have like the burger sleep. I just want to take a nap, but I'm going to try and edit a couple more videos. I was able to get 2 videos edited, and yeah, I had some full hard drive, or full no, it's not a hard drive anymore, it's a solid state. I had some you're out of memory problems, and that happens every now and then, because my laptop is just an editing pig. That's all it does, pretty much. And I'm gonna use it for other stuff, but video editing is 90% of what it does, I'd say. And so I just kind of use it until it fills up, and then I then I sort it out, which is bad. But I just, I'm always kind of like, editing time is scarce, so I just need to turn it on and go. So I'm not really like going through and cleaning up my files. So I kind of do that once it's a problem, which I know is terrible. I'm a bad person for it. I'm sorry. Same with my inbox. All the unread spam messages and ads and stuff. I mean, I think I've got 4 or 5 email accounts linked on my phone, and I think it shows like 165,000 unread messages. I know people that would have like a panic attack for seeing that. All right, old school Charger. Let's see what's what here. Oh, check out that Model S. That is sweet. Wow, it's like all Model S's. Oh, pardon me. Hope I'm not too low class to charge here. Say like Model S only, like no poor people. Let's get it lined up. Makes me feel like buying an old Model S just so I'll fit in. Let's see what's happening here. Open charge port. That's an old school unit. Starting to charge. I wonder if I'm going to be sharing with that dude behind me. I hope not. I didn't even notice him. Ooh. Yeah, this is... Well, it's ramping. Yeah. 74. Yeah. That'll work. All right, so let's see what it's going to give us while we're here. 30 minutes remaining. That's perfect. That'll get me up to 280. That ought to do it. All right, I'm going to edit and we'll check up at the end. Okay. Charged up. We're at 80% state of charge, I believe. Yep. 280 miles of range. I have to say, yep. Like my son. Hi, Daniel, if you're watching. Yeah, the 72 kilowatt charger, really not bad. I might make this my new routine when I come out here. Because, I think I've got plenty of juice to get home now. And that way I don't have to pull over at a very eerily quiet supercharger late at night. So I think that's a pretty good play. I like that. And it was pretty cheap too, man. Like, really didn't cost that much. I think it was around like $15. Charging. $13.44. So not bad at all. Make no mistake about it, supercharging is not, it's not free and it is not cheap. So I really don't recommend getting one of these cars if you can't charge at home. Like, I mean, yeah, you could supercharge it all the time, but for one, it's not good for the pack and it's not good for your wallet. So, I mean, I think it is still cheaper than gas, but not by a significant amount. And for what you have to pay for the car, it's really not worth it. I think of superchargers as just being for days when I'm driving a lot of miles or taking a road trip. And it really does, it's one of the things that gives Tesla the leg up on the competition, at least for now, is you can road trip this car no problem. You can do your long commutes, no problem. You may have to stop for a few minutes. Some people, they look at that as like, the thing that they do 4% of the time. It's like, oh, no, it's a deal breaker. I can't stop for 10 minutes. Okay, fine. You do you, and I totally understand, you got to do what makes you comfortable. So I don't say that like anyone should get one of these if they don't really want one. Because gasoline cars are way more convenient, at least from a put energy back in quickly point of view. But, at the same time, the way it kind of works out for me is that, and this is just for me, just my opinion, is that, like, I forgot, and I hate saying this because it's going to make me sound really douchey. I can't help it. But, like, I don't really remember what it feels like to go to the gas station because I don't have to do that anymore. And, when I have to fill up my wife's van at a gas station, I'm like, oh, I forgot. I forgot about this. I don't like this at all. It's so inconvenient. So, in my opinion, I used to spend a lot more time at gas stations. If you add up all the minutes, I was probably at gas stations more than I was at superchargers. And take tonight for instance, I was going to be in the car anyway editing videos. And so I was able to edit 2 videos, upload, tag, and make a thumbnail for one of them. Like in the time that I was able to charge to 80%. So, for me, that really wasn't inconvenient at all. It was more just like a better use of my time than anything else I could have been doing. But again, it's like you got to figure out what works for you. And if that doesn't work for you, then, hey, what can I say? That's fine. For me, it worked out great. There are times, I think there's a Starbucks in here. I should have plopped it into the navigation. I need just a little more fresh coffee. I'm going to fill it up in my Yeti. Shout out to Ben Malaire. Thanks for the Yeti. There we go. Starbucks coffee, dead ahead. Very nice. But yeah, there are going to be days when like this car is not the most convenient thing. And that's happened already, especially on my days if I'm going to a lot of different places at once. I'd rather not stop sometimes. I'd rather just keep going. So a full tank of gasoline would be, a much more convenient situation. But again, like that's sometimes. It's not every day. But today, for what I'm doing, that's fine. It really worked out well. If I didn't have any margin, if I didn't have any downtime, that could be a problem, for sure. No doubt about that. Okay, I'm going to go get my coffee and probably check in after the concert. Geeking out a little bit. I've got the Empire Brass queued up, class brass, orchestral favorites on the Apple Music. Really just amazing playing. Even if you don't like music, you should listen to that. You'll like it after that. So yeah, as you can see, 9:57 in the PM. We're staring at another 128 miles of driving. Looks like 19% projected when we get there. I don't know, my right foot's feeling kind of heavy. So we may end up a little less than 19% if I had to guess. Plus I've got the heat going, and I've got the heated steering wheel going, and I've got the heated seat going. So, and I'm getting a weird like fasten seatbelt warning. I wonder if I put too much junk in my passenger seat. Probably what I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. that's what it is. Probably, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, 269 miles of projected range remaining, and that would be 77%. So it looks like we lost, I don't know, probably 2%. Parked there for a couple hours, 3 hours, something like that. So not too bad. It usually loses, 1 to 2% per hour, just because of Sentry mode and, I don't know, the cabin conditioning situation. Although in this case, I don't think the heating came on at all. But yeah, so far, pretty clear conditions. Like, roads are wet, but it's not like, it doesn't feel like slippery wet. Oh, pretty wild. Check it out. This Jeep has snow falling off of the bumpers. Look at that. In Palm Desert, of all places. I apologize for the audio getting weird. I don't know why it does this, and maybe one of you tech nerds out there can help me out, or maybe just smart people, I should say. When I zoom in, the audio gets like far away. I don't know why it does that. You would think the audio would just stay the same. I wonder if there's a setting for that I can turn off. That would sure be cool. But I digress. Yeah, so far, nice evening. Really hoping that the weather will kind of continue like this. As I stated earlier, because we charged up in Rancho Mirage, I don't think I'm going to need to charge going home. Now it's saying I'll get home with 20%. I actually gained a little bit. Rocking the full regen brakes, which I really like. Of course, now I want to drive fast. I'll take it easy. I still smoked everybody off the line, even though I wasn't really trying to. But yeah, filmed an interesting video today. I was kind of trying to find some suspension noises in my friend Roy's car, and he has a neat kind of oddball car. It's a Honda Civic that runs on compressed natural gas, CNG. And yeah, it's a really neat car. I mean, actually, it's a very I don't want to say uneventful car, but it's an unusual car. It's an oddball car, but it's very ordinary at the same time. Like, when you get in it, you're like, oh, it's a Honda Civic. And start it up, it's a Honda Civic. So you really wouldn't know it was a CNG car, unless you knew. So, but I rather enjoyed driving it around. And Roy, thank you for being a subscriber. I really appreciate it. And for being my friend, most importantly. But I appreciate both things. And Roy, I forgot to take a picture of your car for a thumbnail. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to figure something out for a thumbnail. A little inside baseball for those of you that don't have your own YouTube channel. One of the hardest things with getting a video out, and I know that my camera work isn't particularly impressive by any stretch, but you take your clips, you edit them together, string them all, glue them together, cut out some stuff, whatever. So you finally get everything put together, exported, ready to upload, and then it's like, oh, I need a thumbnail. Whoops, didn't think about that. So I've really been trying to be better about taking a picture first for my thumbnail. So, or at least at some point during the filming process to stop and take a picture. But I totally spaced on Roy's short video. So, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes YouTube suggests an image from the footage, and that works out great. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot ahead here. I don't really like being sandwiched between cars like that. It's just not fun for me. There we go. I learned something else fun. If you're on the web, right, and you're trying to find an image to use as your thumbnail, you know, a lot of them come up as a .webp format, and like Adobe Express and Canva, all those things that you use to make thumbnails, you know, they only want like a JPG, whatever, however you say it. So I learned that like when you go save image as, you can just at the end of the image name type .jpg, and boom, you've got that file type. It is awesome. So I was today years old when I learned that. And thank you to whatever your name was that made the YouTube video explaining that. That was really, what was that? Hopefully that was just like a water bottle crackling and not my windshield shattering or my roof panel, whatever. Dang, that was loud. Well, hopefully nothing. It's been a good day. I'm going to assume the rest of the day is going to be good. So, yeah, I've picked up my speed. As you can see, traffic is hustling. So I'm going to hustle with them as to go with the flow of traffic. And as you can see, you know, I'm not passing anybody. I'm not even keeping up. So yeah, in a little bit we're going to come up on those all the windmills, and I don't know if you can see those at night. Probably not. But yeah, had a really great concert tonight. We backed up a group called Beginnings. They're a Chicago tribute band, and really just slamming. They were a lot of fun. And trumpet player was a guy named Doug. A really, really great player. Shout out to you, Doug. And the whole horn section. Just killing. Really slamming. And I've always loved the music of Chicago, so it was it was all my favorites. And then some. Okay. I mean, I'd love to take y'all along for the rest of this, but I figure you've seen freeway driving enough that maybe I'll just check in as I get a little closer, or if something eventful happens. Hopefully nothing eventful, maybe a little bit of rain or whatever is fine, but I will jam out to some tunes, call home, check in, and yeah, do an update as we get closer. Okay, we've reached that time that the end of the drive. I'm tired, man. It's a long day. It's only 11:46, but I guess I've been out of the house at least about 13 hours. Almost 14. So I think that's a pretty full day. So yeah, let's talk numbers. We're getting back now. I can end this. I know where we are. 70 miles, 20% state of charge. You saw it. It just switched to yellow, whatever that means. And you can see our charging station session, $13.44. Let's take a look at our trips. So we did 279 miles, probably a couple more, maybe 280, 281. We used 76 kilowatt hours, and our average energy was 273. Let's look at our energy graph. That's interesting. So we have 70 miles of range left, but this is projecting that if we, I think it basically means if we keep driving the way we've been doing, it's going to be 53 miles and not 70. And that does sound about right, actually. And so it looks like we consumed 5.9 miles more than our projection predicted. But it's still pretty close. You know, like I said, I put the hammer down when I get home. So I'm not conserving. I'm just driving. So it's not bad. We charged up to 80%, and heading home we used 80% of the battery. So it's just kind of a tough math problem, and I'm way too tired to figure this out. But I guess in doing how many miles? Yeah, like 280 miles. We used, like, I don't want to say we used the whole battery twice, because I still have 69 miles left. So that's what's always tricky. It's like, you don't want to really run your pack this low. Like 20% is about when you go like, okay, I should probably charge up. You know, that's enough. But really, I mean, I always kind of feel like when I get to about 100 miles, like that's where, and you know, think of that just like a gas car. You know, if you get it down to quarter tank of gas, under a quarter tank, it's like you want to start thinking about your gas stop. So that's kind of how I think of it. Anyway, friends, like I said, I'm too tired to pontificate on all of this. And I need to move the van. Yay. But so glad to be home. If you made it this far, you are such a good friend. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being part of the journey today. I hope, I hope you learned something. I hope it was fun. I had a good time kind of taking you with me. It's fun kind of knowing that even though I am alone, I'm not alone. And, I hope you don't mind this kind of content. I'm going to be making some more of these just as I drive, all over the place. And it's, we'll have our adventures. So anyway, friends, until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And, I'll see you in the next one. Stay driven. Bye.